the arena erupts. The roar of thousands of throats is a wave of sound that crashes against me, but I don't feel it. I don't feel the icy rain mixing with the sweat and blood on my skin. I don't feel the pain from the wound in my side, a deep cut that would kill any other man. The only thing I feel is hunger. A cold, metallic, ravenous hunger that isn't mine. My name is Zarthus, though no one remembers it anymore. To this bloodthirsty crowd, to Lord Malachor watching me from his obsidian box, I am only the Scorpion. A living weapon. A legend forged in the pit. And today, that legend bathes in the blood of his 100th victory. Kneeling before me is the last of the champions of the North. A giant with muscles like rock and an axe that could split a tree. Now, his axe is broken and his bulging eyes look at me with a mix of terror and awe. He isn't looking at me. He's looking at the thing that envelops me, my armor. It isn't simple steel. It's a black and gold chitinous exoskeleton that clings to my skin like a second skin. It's alive. I can feel it vibrate, a purr of satisfaction as it drinks the blood, soaking the sand. And the stinger. The segmented stinger that arches over my head from my back. Drips of venom that glows even in this gloom. Please. Zrenia. Giganski Vzdokhi. But I don't decide. The armor whispers in my mind, not with words, but with impulses. An insatiable desire, more. It always wants more. It's a parasite, and I'm its host. I've been feeding it for 10 years, 365 days a year. Victory after victory. Each death makes it stronger. Each drop of blood polishes its shell and sharpens my despair. I raise my sword, a serrated blade that feels like an extension of my own arm. The giant closes his eyes. The crowd roars, reaching its climax. The stinger above my head tenses, ready to strike. 100 victories, 100 souls to feed my curse. And the hunger never ends. The strike is clean. The crowd goes wild. I stand still as the giant's life force flows into me, not to heal me, but to be devoured by the armor. I feel an icy heat run through my veins as the agony, as I call it in silence, repairs itself. A scratch on the gauntlet seals with a dark gleam. The thirst quiets, becoming a latent satisfaction. For now. Lord Malachor rises in his box. His pale face and small, cruel eyes watch me from afar. 100 victories. His voice, amplified by magic, resounds through the Colosseum. Malachor's Scorpion is invincible. He lifts a hand, and the guards open a door I had never seen open before. Not the one that leads to the damp, dark cells where I sleep with the rats. A different one. As a reward for his service, Malachor announces, our champion will not sleep in filth tonight. He will enjoy the victor's quarters. The crowd roars again, approving their lord's generosity. I don't move. This is new, unexpected. In 10 years, there has never been a reward. Only the promise of the next battle. What is this? A trick? 2 guards approach. They don't grab me as they usually do. They keep their distance, afraid. This way, champion, one says, his voice barely a murmur. I walk. Each step is heavy. The armor, now sated, seems to weigh a ton. They guide me through corridors of polished stone, lit by torches. The air here is clean, without the stench of death and fear from the dungeons. They lead me to a luxurious room. There's a bed with furs, a table with food and wine, even a bath with hot water. It's a gilded cage. They leave me alone. The door closes with a dull thud. I stand in the center of the room, lost. I don't know what to do. I haven't slept in a bed in a decade. I haven't eaten anything but a crust of hard bread. Don't touch the food. The voice is a whisper, raspy and old. It comes from a dark corner of the room. There, sitting on a small chair I hadn't seen, is an old woman. She is blind, her eyes two milky orbs. Page 3. I turn instantly, my body adopting a fighting stance by instinct. The stinger on my back rises, dripping venom onto the carpet. "Easy, Scorpion," says the old woman without moving. "I am no threat to you, but that food would weaken you. It would make you slow, and Malachor cannot allow that." "Who are you?" My voice sounds strange, broken by disuse. I barely speak. "My name is Ilara, and I'm like you, a prisoner, only my cage is time, not steel." Slowly she raises a trembling hand and points at me. "I see things others don't. I don't see your body, Zarthus. I see your soul burning, and I see the black star clinging to it." My blood runs cold. No one has called me Zarthus in 10 years. No one knows my name. "What do you know about this?" I ask, touching the breastplate of my armor. "I know everything," she whispers. "I know it isn't armor. It's a creature, an offspring of the insect gods who fell from the sky eons before men built cities. Malachor didn't find it. He woke it, and he bound it to the strongest warrior he could find, to you. Each word is a revelation that strikes me like a hammer. An insect god, not a simple sorcerer's curse. I know why you feel stronger after each death," she continues. "The agony doesn't feed only on blood. It absorbs the essence, the skill, the instinct of every warrior you kill. You are 100 men, Zarthus. 100 champions in a single body. That's why you're invincible." I look at my hands, my clawed gauntlets. I remember the quickness of the duelist from the Southern Isles, the brute strength of the mountain barbarian, the tactical cunning of the fallen legionary. They weren't my instincts. I had devoured them. "Malachor thinks he controls you," says Ilara, her voice dropping. "But he's wrong. He's fattening a god for the slaughter. But the god isn't you, Zarthus. It's the armor." "What does he want?" I ask, stepping closer to her. For the first time in years, I feel something other than the armor's thirst. I feel a spark of hope. If she knows this, maybe she knows how to destroy it. "He wants immortality," Ilara replies. "Malachor is aging. He has studied ancient texts. He knows that when the armor has absorbed enough power, enough essence of champions, a metamorphosis will occur. The armor will transcend its current state, becoming an avatar of divine power. And at that moment, Malachor plans to perform a ritual. A ritual to rip the armor from you and wear it himself, becoming a living god." A chill runs through me. So that's the end. My purpose. I've been the instrument to cultivate Malachor's power. My 100 victories haven't been for my survival, but for his ascension. "Can it be killed?" I ask, my voice a growl. "Everything that lives can die," the old woman affirms. "Even a black star. The agony has a nexus, a heart. It's right where yours should be, Zarthus. A knot of life energy that binds it to you. Then I'll rip it out," I declare. "Doing so would be like ripping out your own heart," she warns me. "Your life forces are intertwined. If the parasite dies, the host does too." "But," she pauses, tilting her head as if listening to something far away. "But if the host became stronger than the parasite, if the slave claimed the chains, the story could change." Suddenly, the door to the room bursts open. 2 guards enter. They don't look at me. They look at the old woman in panic. "You were supposed to be in your quarters," one shouts. They grab Alara roughly. She doesn't resist. As they take her away, she turns her blind face toward me and says one last thing, her words branding me like fire. "Don't feed it, Zarthus. Master it." I'm alone again. Her words echo in the room. Master it. For 10 years, I've only been its servant. How do you master a hungry god? I look at my reflection in a polished silver shield that adorns the wall. I see the scorpion, the metal mask shaped like an insect's head, the sharp mandibles, the multiple red eyes glowing in the dark. But this time I force myself to see beyond. I look for Zarthus. I look for the man beneath. The armor whispers in my mind. The hunger returns, weaker than before, but persistent. I ignore the food on the table. I ignore the wine. I focus on the hunger, on the sensation. For the first time, I don't accept it passively, I confront it. I close my eyes and dive within. I search for the nexus Ilara spoke of. I find it. It is a sphere of cold, pulsing energy in my chest, intertwined with the beating of my own heart. And from that nexus, 100 pale threads of light extend. The souls, the essences of the men I have killed. I try to touch them with my mind. At first, they resist. They are foreign memories, strange instincts. But I persist. I look for the thread of the northern giant I killed today. I find it. I feel his strength, the solidity of his bones, his resistance to pain. I focus on that sensation. I pull it toward me, not toward the armor. The agony reacts. I feel a stab of sharp pain in my chest, as if the parasite realizes its food is being stolen. A metallic snarl resounds in my mind. Mine. No. I whisper into the empty room. Ours. The struggle lasts for hours. It's a battle of wills fought inside my soul. When the first rays of sun slip through the window, I'm drenched in sweat and trembling. But something has changed. The armor's hunger is still there, but it's no longer an overwhelming roar. It's a growl in a cage. And I hold the key. The door opens. It is Malachor himself. He enters the room with a condescending smile. "Did you enjoy your reward, Scorpion? I hope you've regained your strength. Today we have an announcement." We step out onto the stone balcony overlooking the training yard. Below, all the gladiators of the pit have been gathered. Malachor raises his hands. "Gladiators of the cauldron," he proclaims. "You have bled for me. You have died for me. And today, I offer you a chance at true glory." He pauses dramatically. "For the first time in a century, I announce the Grand Tournament of Champions. Warriors from across the continent will come to compete, and the victor will win their freedom." A wave of shock and hope runs through the gladiators. Freedom? It's a word we had forgotten. But I see the truth in Malachor's eyes. I see the lie. This is not a tournament for freedom. It is a harvest. He is gathering the best warriors in the world in one place. He's going to give the armor the greatest feast of its existence to hasten the metamorphosis. He will sacrifice hundreds to reach his divinity. And I am the main course. "You will be my champion, of course, Scorpion," Malachor says, giving my shoulder pauldron a pat. "Show them all why you're the best. Destroy them. Show no mercy." He looks at me, waiting for a response, a sign of my usual obedience. But I only stare at him through the mask. He can't see it. But for the first time, I am smiling. "It will be an honor, my lord," I say. The game has changed. I no longer fight to survive, I fight for control. And I'm going to use his own tournament to master this curse completely. The tournament begins. It's a bloodbath. Warriors who are legends in their own lands fall like wheat before the scythe. And I am at the center of it all. but I fight in a different way. In my first match against twin sword fighters from Korth, I don't use brute force. I close my eyes for an instant and pull the thread of light from the duelist of the Southern Isles. My body moves with a grace that isn't mine. I dodge, block, and counter with inhuman speed. My two blades dance in the air, disarming them before they can even understand my style. I kill them with their own techniques. The crowd falls silent for a moment, before erupting into an even louder roar. They expected the beast, but they have seen a master. In the next round, I face a colossus with a warhammer. Instead of crashing into him, I pull the thread of the fallen legionary. I think tactically. I use the arena to my advantage. Guide him into traps. Wear him down. I turn brute force into his greatest weakness. When he finally falls, exhausted, I finish him with cold, military precision. With each victory, I grow stronger, but it is my strength. I absorb the essence of every new fallen champion, but this time, I direct it to myself. The nexus in my chest glows brighter, but it's a heat I control. The armor growls and writhes, furious at being deprived of its feast, but it's bound to me. It cannot disobey me. Malachor watches me from his box. His smile has faded. In its place is a look of confusion and something else. Impatience? Greed? He realizes something has changed. My power is growing at a rate he did not expect. I am ripening the fruit too quickly. I reach the final. My opponent is a living legend. A warrior woman of the steppe tribes, known as the Daughter of the Storm. They say her spear can bring down a griffin in mid-flight. When we enter the arena, the Colosseum is in a tense silence. She studies me. Her eyes show no fear, only a grudging respect. "I've heard the stories, Scorpion," she says, her voice clear and strong. "They say you fight with the spirit of 100 warriors. Today, I'll find out if it's true." The fight is the hardest of my life. She is incredibly fast, and her spear is an extension of her will. I cannot rely on a single style. I have to become a legion. I use the giant's strength to deflect a blow that should have split me in two. I use the twins' speed to evade a mortal thrust. I use the legionary's cunning to anticipate her next move. The fight becomes a deadly dance, a whirlwind of styles and techniques that confound my opponent. At last I see an opening. It isn't her mistake. It's an opportunity I create by combining a shield master's defense with the surprise attack of a stealthy assassin. The movement is impossible, unnatural. My sword slides beneath her guard and the battle ends. She falls at my feet. I look at her, and for the first time, the armor doesn't demand her death. It is silent, awaiting my command. I am the master now. I spare her life. A collective gasp runs through the Colosseum. No one in the pit's history has shown mercy. I lift my gaze to Malachor. His face is a mask of fury. I have broken his rules. I have defied his will. "The Scorpion wins!" Malachor shouts, forcing a smile. He has won the tournament. He has won his freedom. The crowd is confused. Some cheer, others boo. The guards surround me and escort me out of the arena, not toward freedom, but directly to Malachor's throne room. The hall is empty, except for the two of us and his elite guards. The doors close behind me. "You've been a fool, Zarthus," Malachor says, his voice dripping poison, showing mercy. "Do you think this is a game of honor? This is a game of power, and your role in it is over." He snaps his fingers. From the floor, ancient runes shine with a sickly light, forming a circle around me. I feel an incredible force pulling me to the ground. The armor screams in my mind, not from hunger, but from pain. "I thank you for speeding up the process," Malachor says as he approaches. "You've absorbed so much essence." The armor is ready, more than ready. It's harvest time. He begins to chant in an ancient, terrible tongue. I feel as if thousands of invisible hooks sink into the armor and pull at it, trying to rip it from my flesh. The pain is unbearable. My vision blurs. I see Malachor remove his robe. Beneath, his old, withered body is covered in ritual scars. He is ready to receive his new god. The armor begins to peel away from my left arm. I scream. I feel my life force fading with it. Ilara was right. To part would kill me. But she also said something else. If the slave claimed the chains. Malachor laughs, a mad laugh of triumph. "Goodbye, Scorpion. Greet the new god of this world." With the last ounce of my strength, I focus. I don't fight the ritual. I accept it. But I speak to the agony in my mind. "Do you see that weak old man?" I send to the parasite. "He offers you a fragile body. I offer you a feast. I offer you a man who craves power, whose ambition has no limits. A corrupt soul is much tastier. Take him, devour him, but do it as my weapon, not as my master." The armor hesitates. I can feel its wavering. It is being torn from me. But for the first time, it has a choice, and I make mine. With a final cry, not of pain, but of will, I strike my own chest with my right fist. Right at the nexus, right at my heart intertwined with the black star. There is no explosion of energy, there is no light, there is a snap. A silent sound in my soul, the sound of a chain breaking. Malachor's ritual completes in that instant. The armor rips from my body and leaps onto him with predatory speed. I scream and fall to the floor, naked, bleeding, but free. The connection is broken. Malachor roars in triumph as the armor assembles around him. "Yes! The power is mine!" But his roar turns into a scream of agony. "I have freed you, agony," I whisper from the floor, smiling. "But he is not your master. I am." The armor, now bound to a new host but following the command of its true master, begins its feast. Malachor screams as the metal sinks into his flesh, not to merge, but to consume. His bones crack and deform. Chitin sprouts from his skin. A stinger bursts from his back, tearing through his spine. He isn't becoming a god. He is becoming an abomination, a twisted puppet of flesh and metal, controlled by my will. The elite guards look at me, on the ground, weak and human, and then at the creature screaming in the center of the room, the thing that was once their lord. The terror in their eyes is my true victory. I rise to my feet with difficulty. My body is shattered, but my spirit is whole. The creature, my creature, stops screaming and looks at me. In its multiple red eyes, I no longer see a parasite's thirst. I see the reflection of a king.